Hello, I'm Kathy McCormick. My husband, Deacon Frank McCormick, has had throat cancer, which impacts his speech. He has asked me to read what he has written about his call. It was at a church-sponsored soup supper on Ash Wednesday in 2000 when I first paid attention to the call. As I listened to my pastor talk about his recent retreat, a sudden feeling came over me that I was supposed to be a deacon. It felt very clear to me then, yet it seemed unusual, like the way a new shoe feels the first time you wear it. I had never considered being a deacon until that evening at church. Before then, the diaconate wasn't on my radar. I was involved in church activities, but preferred to do so behind the scenes. Several people mentioned to me that I should consider being a deacon. I usually responded with laughter. I thought that being on the altar was for holy people. Years later, I vividly remember that night. I can picture the place and the intensity of feeling that went with the voice, which had said, "You are to be a deacon." When the thought and feeling persisted for a couple of days, I made an appointment to talk with our pastor. He told me that this message could be from God, but it could also be from the evil one or just something inside my head. He encouraged me to think and pray about it and what it might mean. During our meeting, he used a word that I was not familiar with: discernment. Rather than discern whether I'm to be a deacon or not, he advised me to focus on whether or not I was being called to enter the next diaconal formation class. After reflection, I requested admittance to formation, submitting myself to the application process. It was over a year later before inquiry began, and we attended some events before we were able to make a formal application in August of 2002. I remember getting a postcard months later informing me that I had been accepted as an aspirant for the class of 2007. That was 5 years away. I couldn't imagine why it would take so long. Now I understand how valuable this process is. Formation was a rewarding experience. In 2007, on the day before ordination, I was reflecting on the blessings of formation. I remember thinking at that moment, even if I got a call informing me that the bishop was not going to ordain me tomorrow, I would still be at peace. Personally, I had grown spiritually and emotionally. Kathy, my wife, was able to walk with me on this 5-year journey, and we had grown much closer as a result. Another blessing was to be able to share the experience with other like-minded couples, as we all sought a closer relationship with God. As you discern what God's call for your life is, pray and listen for the whispers of the Holy Spirit.